Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, I want to talk about something incredibly personal, but also something I believe can help so many of you. A few years ago, I was in a really dark place. It felt like a heavy, gray blanket was suffocating me, and that blanket had a name: depression. Getting out of bed was a monumental task. Finding joy in things I once loved felt impossible. I felt lost, adrift in a sea of my own negative thoughts. I tried a lot of things, and I want to be crystal clear. Therapy and professional medical advice are absolutely vital. My journey is my own, and it was a supplement to, not a replacement for, professional help. But during that time, I stumbled upon something that fundamentally rewired how I see the world, how I react to my own thoughts, and ultimately, how I pulled myself out of that darkness. It was an ancient philosophy, born over 2,000 years ago in Greece and Rome. It's called Stoicism. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Stoic, doesn't that mean emotionless like a robot? That's a common misconception. Stoicism isn't about suppressing your emotions. It's about understanding them, processing them, and not letting them control you. It's about building an inner fortress of peace and resilience that can withstand whatever life throws at you. It's a practical philosophy, a toolkit for living a good life. And for me, it was a lifeline. One of the first concepts that hit me like a lightning bolt was something called the dichotomy of control. It's a simple but profound idea from the Stoic philosopher Epictetus. He said that some things in life are within our control, and some things are not. What's in our control? Our thoughts, our judgments, our actions, our responses. What's not in our control? Pretty much everything else. The weather, what other people think of us. The past, the future, traffic, a global pandemic. You get the idea. Depression for me was a state of constant anxiety about things I couldn't control. I'd worry about what someone thought of an email I sent. I'd ruminate for hours about a mistake I made last week. I'd feel dread about a future event that might not even happen. My mind was a battlefield, and I was losing every fight because I was fighting the wrong enemy. Stoicism taught me to shift my focus. Instead of wasting all my energy on the uncontrollable, I started to pour it into what I could control. I couldn't control if my boss was in a bad mood, but I could control the quality of the work I produced. I couldn't control if a friend canceled plans, but I could control how I chose to spend that free time. Maybe reading a book, going for a walk, or working on a personal project. This tiny shift was revolutionary. It felt like I was taking the steering wheel back. Instead of being a passenger in a car driven by my anxieties, I was the one deciding the direction. It didn't happen overnight. It started with small things. When a negative thought popped up, like "you're not good enough," I learned to pause and ask myself, is this thought helping me? Is it based on fact? Is it within my control? More often than not, the answer was no. So, I would acknowledge the thought, almost like nodding to a stranger on the street, and then gently redirect my focus back to the present moment and the task at hand. Another powerful Stoic practice is what's called negative visualization. It sounds counterintuitive, right? Why would you want to imagine things going wrong, especially when you're already feeling down? But the Stoics, like Seneca, practice this not to become pessimistic, but to build gratitude and resilience. Here's how it works. You take a moment to imagine losing the things you value. Imagine your life without your loved ones, without your health, without your home. It's not about dwelling in misery. It's a brief mental exercise to make you appreciate what you have right now. When you do this, the everyday things you take for granted suddenly shine with a new light. The morning coffee tastes better. A conversation with a friend feels more precious. The simple fact that you are healthy and safe becomes a source of profound joy. For me, this practice helped combat the numbness of depression. Depression flattens everything. It makes it hard to feel gratitude. By briefly contemplating loss, I was able to reconnect with the feeling of thankfulness. It also prepared me for when things inevitably did go wrong. Because I had mentally rehearsed facing adversity, when a real setback occurred, it felt less like a catastrophe and more like a challenge I was prepared to handle. It took the shock and sting out of life's difficulties. I had already considered the possibility, so I could move straight to the solution instead of getting stuck in panic or despair. The third pillar of my Stoic recovery was the concept of amor fati, which is Latin for love of fate. This idea, championed by Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, is about more than just accepting your fate. It's about loving it. It's about embracing everything that happens, both good and bad, as necessary and even desirable. This is a tough one. How can you love it when you lose your job, or get your heart broken, or feel the weight of depression? The Stoic perspective is that every event, no matter how painful it seems at the time, is an opportunity. An opportunity to practice virtue, to become stronger, to learn, to grow. Obstacles are not things that block the path. They asterisk the path. When I was depressed, I saw every setback as proof that the universe was against me, that I was a failure. Amor fati flipped that script. A difficult project at work wasn't a source of stress. It was a chance to practice patience and diligence. A critical comment wasn't an attack on my self-worth. It was a chance to practice humility and open-mindedness. Even the feeling of depression itself, as awful as it was, became an opportunity. It was an opportunity to learn about my own mind, to build mental fortitude, and to develop a deep sense of compassion for others who are suffering. Seeing life through this lens changed everything. I stopped fighting against reality and started working with it. I stopped asking, why is this happening to me? And started asking, what can I learn from this? How can this make me better? This mindset doesn't magically make problems disappear, but it transforms them from soul-crushing weights into character-building challenges. Putting it all together, focusing on what I can control, practicing gratitude through negative visualization, and loving my fate created a powerful new operating system for my mind. It was a daily practice. I started journaling, writing down my thoughts and analyzing them through a Stoic lens. I read the works of Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus. Their words became my mentors, my guides through the darkness. Slowly but surely, the gray blanket began to lift. The color started to return to my world. I started waking up with a sense of purpose instead of dread. I wasn't just surviving the day. I was engaging with it, learning from it, and even finding joy in its challenges. Stoicism didn't cure me in a single day. It was a process of laying one brick at a time to build that inner fortress. But it gave me the tools I needed to do the work. It taught me that while I can't always control what happens to me, I can always control how I respond. And in that power of response lies our freedom and our path to tranquility. If you are struggling right now, please know that you are not alone, and there is a way through. Please seek professional help, talk to a therapist, and speak with your doctor. But if you're looking for a mental framework, a practical philosophy to help you navigate the storm, I can't recommend Stoicism enough. It's not just an ancient philosophy. It's a timeless, practical guide to living a resilient and meaningful life. It gave me my life back. Thank you so much for listening to my story. I hope it might offer a little bit of light to anyone who needs it. If this resonated with you, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel for more content on philosophy for modern life. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Take care and be well.